Welcome, everybody. Episode 52. Welcome to alaunesports podcast, available on Apple Podcasts and iTunes. New episode with your hosts, Mike and Richy. Welcome, everyone. It's been a long time, but we're back in time for our favorite time, the NBA playoffs. And I know that's Mike's also favorite time. What's going on, Mike?
Doing good, man, for sure. My favorite time. Couldn't wait, man. Couldn't wait. Even though my best hot take went to shit, I'm very excited.
Remind everyone what the hot take was.
That the Lakers wouldn't make the playoffs.
But they locked in they already locked in for the play-in tournament, right? Yeah.
No, they're not.
Yeah, no, they're not. It's the East is locked in, not the West.
Yeah,
My fault.
Yeah. Because still got Utah and Dallas still vying for a spot, and OKC, so they're not locked in yet. So I could be right, but I don't think so. I think they got it done. I think Dallas is probably going to miss out.
Wow, you think so?
I mean, dude, it just seems like the writing. It just seems like the story is writing itself, man.
Yeah,
like Kyrie Irving goes to Dallas and it goes all to shit, and everybody's just gonna say like, "Oh, it's Kyrie Irving's fault," when it's really not. So,
why you got that? Actually, I wanted to start like this. Like, let's kind of give the audience like a little like drama about like who can make it to the play-in tournament because in the East, everyone already knows that. I'm just gonna remind everyone, the play-in tournament is already locked in with the Hawks, Raptors, the Bulls, and it may be the seventh seed right now is the Heat.
Yeah, more than likely it's going to be the Heat because Brooklyn has 2 games ahead. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now in the West, between Dallas, OKC, Timberwolves, Pelicans, and the Lakers, all those teams could still be in the play-in. I think the Jazz also. I don't think they're not. Yeah, the Jazz also. I don't know if you still have that schedule in front of you. You said the Lakers got the Suns and the Jazz. Mm-hmm. Timberwolves got Pelicans and the Bulls. No.
And New Orleans, I think.
New Orleans. Yeah.
Pelicans and the Spurs. Pelicans and the Spurs. Yeah.
OKC got a tough schedule. I know they got.
They have the Jazz and they have the Grizzlies.
Okay, that's tough. And who else is we're missing?
Dallas has the Bulls and the Spurs.
Okay, and the Pelicans got the Knicks and
New
Timberwolves.
New Orleans. Oh yeah, Timberwolves.
Out of all that, my fault. Yeah,
and then the Warriors have the Kings and the Blazers, and the Warriors are playing tonight, I believe. Oh no, tomorrow night.
Tomorrow night. Kings and the Blazers. And the Clippers got a easy ending. Yeah. Oh no, never mind. They got the Suns, but they got the Blazers, so they should go 1-1, which should help them. Out of everyone on that list, who do you think got to grind it out? Who has to grind it?
I mean, it's between OKC, Dallas, and Utah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean. Obviously Minnesota's going to play New Orleans, so they have to win that game, and New Orleans need that game to stay on top of them, because if they win that game, then their record is tied. I don't know who owns the tiebreaker in this matchup, but
between the Pelicans and the Timberwolves?
Yeah,
I'll look it up.
Yeah, but so they both need that W, but I think it's literally between those bottom 3 teams. If I had my pick of the litter and I could, manipulate, the results of these NBA games, I would definitely want New Orleans to lose, because, Zion isn't playing. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, I love BI. I love CJ McCollum. I think the team took some incredible strides this year. At some point, they were number 1 in the Western Conference early in the season. They had a lot of injuries that derailed their season, but I just don't want to see that. Those teams play, like, especially if they're not at full strength, they're not 100%. I just don't want to see them go into the playoffs. That's just me personally. You know, people could hate on on that take, but that's just me personally. So I would much rather see a stronger team go into the playoffs, full health, full strength, full squad. So I would love Minnesota to win that game. I would love OKC to probably win their remaining games. Dallas just seems like they really like their destiny is not in their hands anymore. Like they rely on the other teams ahead of them to have bad results as well. So it's not looking good for Dallas, but hopefully something might happen where they can actually make it in. But it's between those three teams, man. They're the ones that have to grind it out. It's Dallas, Utah, and OKC. Utah definitely not gonna make it, but yeah. So I think, in my opinion, it's between those three. The other guys that they're locked in for playing, I think, in my opinion, like even though it doesn't say so, but I think they're locked in.
It's a tie between them from the Timberwolves and Pelicans, so that third game is gonna determine a lot. Yeah.
Okay. What about you, man? What do you think? What are you thinking?
I'm thinking that I think the Mavericks is gonna steal one spot.
Okay.
I think most likely it's gonna be OKC spot, unfortunately. I feel like they're gonna steal it, but if they steal it, they're gonna make that 8th seed.
So there'd be a 10th spot.
There will be a 10th spot. There will be Timberwolves. If the Timberwolves is 9th, then in the battle against the Pelicans, they'll win the 2.
Okay. I hope so, man. Like the playoffs without Luka right now just seems
that's crazy.
Yeah, it just seems so whack. Like so, I don't know.
I mean, they should have had a better. I feel like the organization should have a better team. They should have like I was telling was like last month in the show. With all the news that were piling up about like, oh, they're gonna make another trade. I feel like another trade was needed. It was necessary needed so you can balance the team. Unless they're like thinking about the future and stuff like that. But the Dallas got it has Luka Doncic in the team, so you're not really you're thinking about the future, but you also want to be in the playoffs. So
for sure,
yeah.
I mean, who knows? It could be one of those things that's a blessing in disguise if they actually do miss the playoffs. Because I mean, over the last couple of months, we've seen things that are uncharacteristic of Luka, like, you know, coming out to the public being like, you know, not in like the most positive mindsets. Like, you know, he's complaining. He says it's not easy. He's not in the best mental space in terms of like, you know, his mental and his physical. Because I mean, he said like, you know, he's been playing basketball straight for 3 years now or 4 years or whatever, with only having like basically like 4-week vacation. And that takes a toll on your body at the end of the day, especially when you're playing like international basketball. You go to play for your country every summer. So you're sacrificing like, you know, working on your game, working on your body and resting to get in the best physical shape that you could possibly be, which is kind of needed in the NBA, man. Like, you know, especially on the defensive end, especially as a guard, you kind of need it because you have to guard other guards. So, yeah, so who knows? It could be a blessing in disguise. My thing is that I feel like they paid a pretty penny to get Kyrie Irving when I feel Kyrie Irving is probably just going to be a rental for them. But, you know, that's probably just me being negative towards Kyrie Irving, thinking that he doesn't want to stay in Dallas and he's just going to walk up and go to another team that he prefers and that's suited for him specifically, even though Dallas could probably give him the most money at this point. But yeah, we'll see what happens come summertime. But yeah, it could be a blessing in disguise for them. Like, you know, to lose, he gets some vacation time. He could go work on his body, get away from the game for a little bit, and see what happens come training camp and in the summer.
But you want to play like, let's pretend the series is coming and the playoffs starting tomorrow.
Okay.
Let's go to the East. Like, let's say it's ended like this, playing tournaments locked in, and it's 1 through 8. Bucks and Dogs. What's your prediction for this one?
4-0.
I know you. Okay. You know, I was gonna say I know what you're gonna say already.
4-0. Even though I gotta say, Trae Young has been notoriously beating the ever living life out of the Milwaukee Bucks, man.
Yeah, okay, buddy.
Like I'm not like, oh, like his stats versus the Bucks are incredible, but overall, man, I just think like the team is just playing incredible basketball down the stretch. I just don't think there's any shot that they could actually even get a game out of this series versus the Bucks. I think Giannis is locked in. Middleton has been coming back, even though he's still not 100% in my opinion. Drew Holiday has had an incredible season. Yeah, it's 4-0 for me. Like,
What have
those
they
guys
been doing differently? Because there was a time they were criticizing him a little bit in January, saying that the Bucks were not playing Bucks basketball. They were not putting the energy that people are used to them, the physicality. Someone like you just mentioned, what's the point guard's name again? Holiday.
Yeah.
He was getting a little bit criticized, being inconsistent. Giannis, he was out. And what have they been doing differently quickly? Like, if you have just one thought.
In my opinion, I just think like they got healthier, and I don't think I forgot when the Aussie came back, but yeah, it's just like getting healthy, getting those guys, getting the reps in with those guys to get comfortable with each other again, and figuring out like, okay, how does everybody want to play to get this cohesion together. And then once that happens and everybody's getting healthy and getting those reps in, I feel like, okay, like everybody's confidence is high at this point. They know what's expecting of them, and they know how each other want to play. They know the rotations, and then boom, everything starts clicking. And yeah, man, Brook Lopez has had a phenomenal year. Like
Defensive player of the year? Or is it going to be Jackson?
I feel like they're probably, I don't know, like, it might be the year that he probably tries to sneak it out, but the NBA just loves the new blood. So I think Jaren Jackson is still going to get it. But there's been so much negative publicity around Memphis because of the whole Ja Morant thing that they might steer away from that. And because the Bucks have been doing so well and they're the number one team in the NBA right now, I think he could eke it out and win. But I feel like the NBA just the media, they just love the new blood so much that they might go with Jaren Jackson.
Celtics and the Heat.
It's gonna be a tough battle, man. It's gonna be a tough battle. Jimmy Butler loves to play against the Celtics, in my opinion, but I just think there's something wrong. There's just something iffy about Miami right now. To quote one of our friends, one of our buddies, fan of Miami Heat, Sebastian, Pat Riley is asleep. Pat Riley might have lost it, in his opinion. He doesn't think Pat Riley's the Godfather.
This man is calling Pat Riley washed.
Yeah,
that's crazy. But
so yeah, man, Kyle Lowry is still on that roster. Like it just doesn't help. So I think the Celtics are locked in. Even though there's like a little bit of like, friction between Jaylen Brown and the fans of Boston as well. But
it's pro basketball, baby.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to take away from his duties. I think Boston would probably take this series 4-2.
The Nets and Philly.
Now, this matchup right there is a little bit weird for me because I don't particularly like the Brooklyn roster right now. So I don't really know what to expect of them. Like Kyle
Bridges,
he's been putting up some numbers, but he almost feels like a volume scorer to me in Brooklyn right now than an actual guy that like, yo, I can legitimately get you 25 points a night easily type thing. Where like, come playoff time is like, oh, okay, we're just going to start throwing double teams at you and stuff like that. We've never seen him in that type of situation before. Yeah. So I just don't really know what to expect of them. So for that, I'm thinking that this is going to be a very easy path for Philly to get to the second round. And I think if the playoffs were to start tomorrow or tonight or whatever, and that's the matchup, I think Philly gets out of the series 4-1.
Cavs and the Knicks. Don't be biased. Don't be my friend.
Nah, man. That's the series. This is a tough series, but yeah, I think just like you echoed, I think the Knicks has this in the bag 4-3. I think it's gonna be a long series.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be back and forth a lot. But I personally like the Knicks roster more than I like the Cleveland roster. Look, Spider religiously goes off in the playoffs. We know
He's
that
gonna get
about
his.
him. We know that about him. They got Garland. Uh, what's Jared Allen's status? Has he been playing?
I got you. 1 second.
Yeah. So I don't know, man. I just and Julius Randle, will he be available for the start of the playoffs?
So from the time he got hurt, they said in 2 weeks they're gonna evaluate him.
Mm.
I feel like that injury came in the right time because we already clinched the playoffs. Well, we didn't clinch the playoff, but we were in the route to clinch the playoffs. I feel like it gives him some rest as well because he hasn't been out at
Mm-hmm.
all. Him and Quickly are the two players that I don't think they have been out. So he's gonna be reevaluated in 2 weeks and be ready for the playoff because they anticipated that the game one's gonna start on April
Saturday.
15, Saturday, April
Yeah,
15.
Saturday.
So I think that gives him time to come back.
Yeah, man. So I don't know.
And
If
game
he's
3 and 4 at MSG is April 20 and April 22nd. If any Knicks fans wants to know
yeah,
when to buy the tickets.
yeah. I think if they're if he comes back healthy and he's available like from the start, I think it's a Knicks series, 4-3. Um, the other thing I would say is that in his absence and Jalen Brunson's missed games, like guys like Emmanuel Quickly, Obi Toppin, Quinn Grimes, uh, Jericho Sims. Sims has been playing well all year. Um, but I think those guys like took a step up, man. Especially
Yeah.
Quickly.
It
Quickly's
just
been
showed you
balling.
like everyone is ready. And like you're looking at Quickly. I'm not being biased, but really Quickly is a guy, if he starts for a team, he can actually average 20 points. He can do that. He's more relaxed now. He understands his pace. He understands where to go and where to he can distribute a little bit better. Jared Allen is actually averaging 14.4 points per game, 9.9 rebounds and 1.7 assists. Yeah, so Quickly is just he's doing so much better. He's confident, and that's what I was saying. Like the only reason why I'm saying the Knicks 4-3 is because the Knicks are peaking. The team is peaking in the right time.
Yep.
That's why I was like, oh man, playoff please starts tomorrow because like everyone is so confident. Quickly is confident. Quentin Grimes is confident. He has his confidence back. He was in a slump a little bit when Cameron left. I mean, when Josh Hart came in. Josh Hart is gonna do his thing. RJ Barrett is inconsistent, but he's in his bag still. And Randall is in his bag. Jalen Brunson is in his bag. Who else I'm missing? Mitchell Stopinson. He had a little frustration on the internet saying that he's just doing cardio out there, like they're not playing with him. They threw a couple alley hoops. He's done. He's good. Like yesterday, you saw like without Brunson, without Julius Randle, and without RJ Barrett, everyone is ready, man. Yeah. Juice McBride is ready. Josh Hart, not Hart, like Hardenstein.
Yeah,
he was pissing me off in the first half of the season. He understands where he can operate now. I'm ready, man. 4-3. I feel my bench is better too.
I think for sure, especially the addition of Josh Hart. But yeah, man, like I think the roster overall, top to bottom, I like that roster a little bit more. Like, yeah, Cleveland might have two superstars and Garland and Spider that can go off and give you 50 points if they need to. But overall, team wise, and what the Knicks do defensively under Tibbs, I like their chances versus the Cavaliers.
Donovan Mitchell is gonna eat, so I'm not gonna be mad about that. He's a superstar, so I'm not really looking at Donovan Mitchell or Garland. I'm talking about I'm looking more like you said. What about the other team? What about the other guys? Can they execute when it's gonna get tough for Donovan Mitchell? Because like Donovan's gonna do 40 points, but it's gonna matter about certain possession of the game when they're gonna double Donovan Mitchell. Can you trust Rubio? Can you trust whoever, Levert, anyone else? Same thing for Randall and Brunson when they're gonna take him out of the game. Can I trust Quentin Grimes to knock a big shot? Can I trust quickly to run the basket? So it's gonna be interesting to see. But I say 4-3.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So let's go quickly to the West before we end the show. If it ended today, it's Nuggets and the Pelicans. I know you got the Nuggets.
Yeah, I don't think that's a con. I mean, let me not be disrespectful because I love CJ McCollum and BI. And they got Jones on that team. They got Valanciunas on that team as well. So I think it'd probably be a little bit more contested, but I think it's like maybe a 4-2. Like I want to say 4-1 gentleman sweep, but I like to give them the benefit of the doubt and say they could squeak out another game out of the series. But I just don't think that New Orleans, without Zion,
Williams.
Yeah, they're not strong enough.
What about the Memphis and the Lakers?
That's a tough series, man. I just think that the Grizzlies hit a wall with what happened with the whole media attention surrounding Ja Morant, and I think it happened at the wrong time for them. Coming after the All-Star break, that's not when you really want stuff to happen, negative things to happen to you going into down the stretch, going into the playoffs. Yes, they still win games. They're still a very well-coached team, but I just think, again, like you said with the Knicks earlier, man, like this team is peaking. Like, yeah, their results a little bit back and forth, but they're just playing way better basketball.
Oh yeah,
since the turn of the year. AD's back, LeBron is back, Dennis Schroeder's playing great. Like, they
discount D'Lo. You said
discount Rob Lowe. Put a team together, man. He
Austin Reeves is getting his immediate attention.
Yeah, he scrambled. He put a team together. Saying that they're like, is the Dwight Howard I'm saying rumor true? Like they're trying to re-sign him?
Nope, I don't know about that, so I can't really tell you.
Yeah, man. So I don't know. I think the veteran leadership and the experience of what the Lakers have, I just don't see Memphis winning that series. If that were to happen,
I like the hot take.
Man. I just don't see it. Like, I didn't believe in the Lakers. I didn't think they would make the playoffs, but versus that team and what they showed me last year in the playoffs, I just don't have any type of confidence in them whatsoever to actually eke out in that series. So if that were to happen, I think the Lakers would take it 4-3.
Okay. I think Guy will be happy about that. Let's check who's next. So it was Memphis and Lakers. The Warriors and the Kings. Is that another odd matchup for you?
No. So there's a lot of story there because obviously, the
Mike
new
Brown?
coach. Yeah, the new coach of So there's some story there, and the media's zoning in on this playoff picture right now. They're like, does Sacramento want Golden State or do they want the Lakers? And in my opinion, I think Mike Brown would very much rather play the Golden State Warriors because he knows them. The team has not been playing well this year. I personally called them hot garbage. Like, I just don't think that team is good. Draymond Green shouldn't be on a basketball court for the Golden State Warriors. They traded Wiseman. Gary Payton II just came back. There's been issues about his health. Klay Thompson has been streaky all year.
What about your boy?
Who?
Jordan Poole.
Jordan Poole, like, again, he's just streaky. He's like a J.R. Smith on steroids, man. Like, he's just like, dude, like, it's just like, I don't know what else to say. It's like, when he's playing at is it the Oracle?
Yeah, I think so.
I don't.
I think the Oracle was the last one, right?
Was it the last? Yeah, it probably was the last.
I got you. I'm gonna let you know in a few
seconds. But when they're playing at home, like, all right, like, he could get hot. But when he goes on the road, it's like a different thing. And the Warriors are notoriously bad on the road. This season, they've been abysmal. They haven't played well. Steph Curry has been carrying the team on his back all season.
Chase Center. Sorry.
The Chase Center. Yeah, the Chase Center. Yeah, man, I think in that.
But don't you think that maybe going to the playoffs, it's the Golden State Warriors and the Sacramento? I know Sacramento got Fox and Sabonis, and overall the team has been doing well as well. And then they've been communicating well. I was watching the game yesterday. Sabonis was coaching Keegan Allen, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, Keegan Allen. What am I saying? Is that his name? Sorry, the rookie.
I think so.
Why am I thinking that Keegan Allen is a football player for some reason? I don't know. But they're communicating. They're ready for the playoffs. I know like they're going to be ready, but shouldn't we give a little bit more respect for playoff Golden State maybe? No?
To me, this season, no. Like, they haven't showed anything to me. They haven't shown
Keegan Murray, sorry.
Keegan Murray. They haven't shown any consistency. The things that they've shown is things that we know, like, that they can do. Like, third quarter, they're streaky, they're hot. They blow up in the third quarter, like when Steph Curry's there, Jordan Poole, Klay Thompson, or whatever. But with what's his name, Andrew Wiggins missing out. I think this team is missing a huge part of that. What they need to actually compete in the playoffs is a guy that could actually get his own bucket, but he also plays defense. And they don't have that. Andre Iguodala, whenever he touches the court, he breaks his back. He's gone now. Like, the man is old. So they're missing that. So now you have to heavily rely on Steph Curry, Jordan Poole, and Klay Thompson as your main guys to give you buckets. You don't have another option. Jonathan Kuminga and Moses Moody are probably your other options, but are we really talking about these young kids being your go-tos when things get tough? So I just don't really see it for the Golden State Warriors. I hope that they lose, if I'm being honest, because I really want them to blow that team up because I love Steph Curry and I don't want him to keep playing with this garbage. So I want him to succeed. I want to see him in the playoffs because he's one of the most fun athletes to watch play basketball. Yeah. So for me, it's just like,
what is it, like a 4-3?
Yeah, I think it's going to be contested. I don't think it gets 3. I don't think it gets to 7. I think it's a 6-game series. Sacramento will win because they're on the road. They have the home court advantage, so it would start 2-0. Golden State will go back home, get that one game. Then it will be 3-1, and then I think they might get one game on the road, and then Sacramento would finish it at their house on their court.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
The last one is the Clippers and the Suns.
Tough series.
Suns haven't lost since KD came in. KD haven't lost with.
Tough series, man. That's a cheat code, man.
Is that the series? Like the best series going to be in the first round of the playoffs, East and West?
I would love to see it, man.
What are we talking about? 4-3 Suns or 4-3 Clippers?
Russ got some venom for KD, man.
Does he still have it?
I'm pretty sure he does. Russ, man. Russ will use anything he can to get a competitive advantage. But I think the Clippers can beat the Suns, man.
Why?
I don't like the Suns' physicality. I don't think they're physical. I think they're soft.
So you think the Clippers are going to bring that physicality to them?
100%. I think they can.
Besides maybe Russ or who? Kawhi Leonard,
Russ, Kawhi, Zubac.
I don't know if Paul George's gonna be back for the first round yet.
Yeah, don't know, but they got the Morris twins.
I know Bones is a strong guy too.
They got Norman Powell. Yeah, they got Norman Powell. I just think they're more physical. So when it comes time to like, hey, we can actually punish those guys, I think they can do that. And I think that's what that series would probably need. Like, get a little bit more dirty. Like,
so is that your hot take? Suns gonna lose first round?
Is that a hot take?
I mean, anything that involves KD and the team is a hot take.
All right. I guess that's my hot take. What do you think? Let me see what you think. Even though the Suns are a cheat code, what do you think?
I think it's like you said, it's going to be a competitive series. Mm-hmm. I don't think it's going to be one of the series that's going to end 4-1 or 4-2 because, like I said, like it's a tough matchup. When you're saying the physicality, I'm like, okay, we're looking at the lineup right now: Chris Paul, Devin Booker, DeAndre Hayton, mm-hmm. Josh Okogie, if I'm saying that right, and Kevin Durant. You're right in terms of physicality. It's tough. Wait a minute. Since when Terrence Ross was in there? My bad. What?
They
I
bought
missed.
him out and they signed him.
Yeah, I missed that.
Oh,
I was just looking at the roster. So in terms of physicality, I do get that. I do get that. They're gonna bring it to them, but man, Kevin Durant and Devin Booker, they could win a game by just by them two.
for sure.
Just two of himself. And I want to see how healthy Paul George is as well, because Kawhi is gonna get his. I feel like Westbrook's gonna be on and off, but he's gonna bring that physicality. He's gonna do that transition buckets when you need him. He's gonna bring the intensity. But for the Clippers to win, they're gonna need more help. It can't just be Kawhi and Paul George. It's gonna Westbrook's gonna have to contribute. Bones gonna have to contribute. Power in the offensive side too. So I have 4-3 the Suns just because of the talent that the Suns has, raw talent in Kevin Durant. And Devin Booker is a great shooter too, but I'm concerned also, like you mentioned, it's concerning as well as for the physicality.
We shall see what happens. I can't wait. I can't wait for this thing to be over to know who we got.
Yes, it's gonna be over by next week. On Sunday is the last regular game. So the play-in tournament, it starts April 11. When is April 11, Mike?
So what's that? Monday? Tuesday.
So Tuesday we're gonna have it's pro basketball. It's gonna be East number 7 versus East number 8. And April 11 is gonna be later on, it's going to be West 7 versus West 8. April 12, it's going to be East 9 versus East 10. And April 12 and later in the night is going to be West 9 versus West 10. April 14 is going to be the East loser of the 7 and 8 versus the East winner of the 9th and 10th. And April 14 and later on is going to be the same. West in the West is going to be the loser of the 7 versus 8 vs the West winner of 9th and 10th seed. And the April 15, the playoff officially starts. So probably we could circle back next week on Thursday, maybe, Mike.
Yes, sir.
We'll see. We're probably gonna have to talk about the play-in tournament and some drama is gonna happen for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And hopefully, I see you mention that. Hopefully, the Bulls make it too. Make it to the 8th seed. Maybe still take the Hawks out.
I'm rolling my eyes, man. I don't care about that.
Take the Hawks out, man.
It's like, hey, okay.
It's possible. You're giving out, like Sebastian was saying yesterday, man. Y'all giving the Hawks way too much
credit.
Mm-hmm. Like I've seen them play multiple times. They're not impressive. I'm not being biased at all because they beat us 2 years ago. It has nothing to do with that. It's just that they're not impressive. When they beat us 2 years ago, the potential that was, they don't have the same team. Like Kevin Huerter's not here, the coach is not here. Many things is different. I feel like a guy like Collins is not the same player because at some point they were saying Collins was better than Randle, so he's not the same player. Maybe he needs a new environment, but
for sure,
the potential that they had is not the same to me in my eyes. So
You're correct. You're correct in that assessment.
So we'll see. Next week. Before we end the show, we're not gonna have what's up with that, but I'm gonna have you say your highs and lows for the week. I feel like our highs is gonna be similar. I don't know why.
I didn't really pay too much attention this week, but I think my high is definitely Grant Potter being sacked. I couldn't.
Damn.
Yeah. I mean, it's above Marcus Rashford scoring another goal for me, or Real Madrid trashing Barcelona 4-0. Yeah, man, Grant Potter just wasn't good at Chelsea, man, and I'm just so happy. And I'm not a fan of Chelsea. I'm not. I'm a Manchester United fan, but he's just so bad. He was so bad that I couldn't not wait. Like, dude, there's like millions of dollars being fielded every week on a pitch, and your team is horrible. And I like watching pretty football, beautiful football. I could not wait for this man to go. And that's my high. My low, do I have a low? I don't know. I didn't really pay too much attention with sports this week. But yeah, man, I think that's what I'll say. Do you have anything?
my high and low is gonna be. Actually, my high and low is gonna be the same thing. Not the same thing, but it's gonna be the same kind of game. My high is Real Madrid beating Barcelona 4-0. I feel like it was needed because we were in a 3-game losing streak against them. Yeah. My low is I'm kind of sad they didn't put a 5. I feel like because I saw someone tweet is like, yo, this is the game. It was Cramps. It was Cramps. Shout out to Cramps. He was saying that this is the game that you have to give him the Manita back. At the Cup Nou. You gotta give it to him. Yeah. Come on, man. But that was my high and low. Winning 4-0 and also not scoring that extra game.
Own that team.
Yeah. It was much needed. All right. Episode 52. Anything you want to add before we close the show?
Nah, short and sweet, just like the girls like never mind.
What?
Joke, man.
What was that? A joke, yep. What a way to. Okay, since you're giving the sensation, give the show a title.
Short and sweet.
All right, short and sweet, baby. All right, episode 52. Peace.